Welcome to the Beard Speaks podcast. Hey, all right. What's going on, everybody? Pat here with the Beard Speaks podcast. Yes. All right, guys, what's going on? Just wanted to jump on here today, and this is an episode that I didn't want to do. I was thinking about doing it, and I thought, I don't want to do this, but here we are. I'm going to throw down some thoughts on this, but before we get there, I do want to thank everybody for checking out the show, sharing the show with everybody. From the bottom of my heart, man, I love it. Thank you so much. And I want to do a shout out to some of the top cities that are listening to the Beard Speaks podcast. And again, where can you hear the Beard Speaks podcast? Well, I'm glad you asked. You can check us out at Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, Podcast Index, Overcast, iHeartRadio, Podcast Index, Castro, Castbox, Podchaser, Pocket Cast, Deezer, Listen Notes, Player FM, Good Pods, and True Fans. That's right, guys. So pretty much anywhere podcasts are streamed, you can check us out. Also, check us out at www.thebeardspeakspodcast.com. Cool information on there. I got links to all our socials. Check us out, man. We're kicking it on TikTok. A lot of stuff going on there. I'm throwing up some videos, doing a lot of dads supporting dads and dudes supporting dudes and Gen X and all that cool stuff and riding those waves, and really a lot of great people. TikTok is insane, but there is some good out there on social media. There's some, right? But if we stick together and we help each other, man, that's really all that matters. And check us out there at TikTok. Check us out on Instagram. Check us out on Facebook. We're on YouTube. All that fun stuff. So anyway, let's shout out to some cities, shall we, man? So Chicago, of course, coming in, my hometown. Singapore, what's up, Singapore? Scottsdale, Arizona. We've got Los Angeles, California. What's up, California? Knoxville, Tennessee, home away from home. Washington, Virginia. Ashburn, Virginia. Minneapolis, Minnesota. What's up, Minnesota? Roselle, Illinois. Park Ridge, Illinois. Love you guys out there in Park Ridge. San Antonio, Texas. Tacoma, Washington. Portage, Indiana. Austin, Texas. New York. What's up, New York? Who else we got here? Houston, Texas. Seattle, Washington. Hotlanta, Georgia. What's up, Georgia? We've got Burbank, Illinois. We've got Topeka, Kansas. Springfield, Illinois. Naperville, Illinois. Auburn, Washington. Miami, Florida. Home of my Miami Dolphins. You guys are killing me, man. Let's do it this year, huh? Dallas, Texas. Beijing. What's happening, Beijing? Fountain Hills, Arizona. Denver, Colorado. Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Brooklyn, New York. Kansas City, Missouri. Tampa, Florida. Nashville, Tennessee. Man, the list, of course, goes on. Well, and listen, guys, we're in every country, right? So I could keep going on this list, man. There's just too many cities, but we're streaming in every country. Thank you guys so much for making that possible. Without my listeners out there, this podcast would be nothing. But you guys show up every show, you share, you get the word out there, and I love it. So thank you. All right, let's get to the topic at hand. So this is a tough one. I was thinking to myself, do I want to do this? Do I not? But here, we're gonna just go here, and we're just gonna do it, right? So Charlie Kirk. It's been a while, and I've been soaking up what's happened, and I did an episode quite a while ago about just social media and how disgusting social media has become and what our world has become, right? Set aside, our normal problems, human problems that we have in our country, but are all over the world, really. But I think I've seen a new evil after Charlie Kirk was assassinated. And Number one, and I'm not going to make this into a political thing, where, hey, he's this or he's that or whatever. I mean, let's set that aside for a second. I mean, maybe we'll touch on that, but let's set that aside. Here's a young man, 31 years old, married, 2 beautiful kids, and that's, he's a father, and that's where you just have to look at that right there. Okay. Have we fallen that far that we would laugh or joke about someone's death because we just don't agree with them? Is that where we are? I mean, is that where we are as a species? Right? I mean, think about that. You didn't have to agree with everything the guy said. I mean, look, let's be honest, right? I mean, nobody politically or, in any forum can you find someone to say, I agree with everything that guy says or that girl says. I agree everything. No. But there's always going to be disagreements, right? Everyone sees things their own way. But to wish death on a father, okay, to wish death on someone because they think differently. No matter where you stand on anything political, anything social, I mean, look at our world today. Look at everything that's going on out there. You've got, the subject of, immigration. You've got the subject of, the LGBTQ transgender issue. You've got, parenthood, parental alienation. You've got, just politics in general. No one agrees 100% with someone. I mean, it's just impossible, right? I mean, I don't see that. I mean, there's always going to be discussions. There's always going to be disagreements, and you're going to discuss those disagreements civilly. But we've become so unhinged when someone triggers you because they think differently. Whether they're wrong or right, you should be able to sit down and have a civil conversation and a civil debate about such topics. I mean, you would think so. And that is issue about all of this. We have free speech in this country, and some countries don't, right? Obviously. So to be able to get out there and speak your mind as Charlie Kirk did, I mean, the guy had, he had the guts to do that. Not too many people do. And he got out there and spoke to a generation that, frankly, is pretty lost right now. Okay. And why do I say that? Well, just look at what's happening. I mean, you can go out to these college campuses and, these kids are being indoctrinated or being, taught different things that are just not true. I mean, if you were just teaching the facts and you were just teaching history and teaching, a real education, you wouldn't be where we are now with this generation, right? So there's so much stuff going on out there. And again, the reason why I don't want to get into the politics of it and whatnot is because let's just be realistic. We don't all know what's really going on, okay? We just don't, okay? We're just regular people just trying to pay our bills, put gas in the car, go to work, pay for groceries, feed our families, and just be happy, be able to go on vacation and just live. But when you have hot topics that people want to discuss, no one should die, okay, for their thoughts. And no one should die for speaking out. So let's take a look at this. I've been looking at social media and thinking to myself, where have we gone wrong, man? Where did we take that turn where we're laughing at someone that was assassinated because of his thoughts and just because you don't agree with it. It just doesn't. It does not compute, right? There's a lot of anger out there, you know. I mean, they're beating this racist thing to death, right? I mean, the one thing I can say for certain by just watching full, okay, you got to watch full videos and not cherry pick some of the things he says, some of the things he didn't say or whatnot. And I just keep hearing this stuff. The guy didn't even see skin color, right? He just, are you a good human being? That's really all that matters. And, you know, that's where we should all be. You know, we don't look at skin color, you know, we just look at the value of the person inside, right? Who you really are, to be able to sit down and talk to somebody and, you know, just look over the facts of your beliefs and their beliefs and, you know, be able to have that debate. That's a beautiful thing. But here we took someone who wanted to get out there and, you know, speak to his beliefs and then actually speak the word of God and try to bring people to Jesus Christ. I mean, I can't even imagine, you know, that this was a bad thing. You know, did he have some viewpoints that people didn't agree with? Of course. You know, but did he deserve to die? So now his children grow up without a father, right? His wife without a husband, his family. Think about his extended family, for Christ's sakes. You know, it's just sad. But, you know, at the end of the day, it's not just about Charlie Kirk. It's really about our freedoms in this country, in this world, right? Our freedoms to be able to speak our mind, to be able to sit down and discuss our differences and try to come to common ground, right? And be able to really look at facts, right? And not just all this imaginary stuff and people cherry picking, you know, different things to make their point. It just doesn't work that way, right? It's just broken if you think you can just cherry pick things and bring that up in a conversation without knowing all of the facts. And at the very least, Charlie Kirk walked into these discussions with the facts and knowing what he was talking about and wanted to open up dialogue and wanted people to see, you know, this is what I believe, right? This is what I believe as a Christian. This is what I believe, you know, as a conservative. But that's become such a dirty word now, being a Christian or being a conservative, right? And I think the political tides have swayed, man, between left and right. And I always say the right wing and the left wing belong to the same bird, right? I mean, we're all humans, man. We're all in the same boat. We're all trying to get to the same goal. But if we don't work together and if we don't open up and speak to each other and have open dialogue, sometimes it's going to get heated, of course, right? Because we're passionate about our beliefs and passionate about what we're talking about. But you have to open your eyes and you have to look at the other side and you have to look at it with an open mind and see where they're coming from. And a lot of people just are not right now. And I'm seeing this. I mean, the videos and can this guy rest in peace? I mean, think about it. Let's enter into now, besides all of this with social media, with the laughing and the, you know, he was this and he was that and just tearing the guy apart for absolutely no reason. But now let's look at all the conspiracy theories. It seems as if you can't even turn on your feed or on Facebook or TikTok or anything without seeing videos of Charlie Kirk's assassination in slow-mo, different angles. Everyone's got commentary about his lapel mic blew up and shot him, or it was, you know, it was coming from the back. It was, my favorite. It was a hologram. He was a hologram. He's still alive. Did you see the chair fall through the table? There's so much stuff going on out there and so many videos. Again, can the guy rest in peace? Think about, it's almost like JFK, right? His whole family for decades had to watch that video over and over again. Can you imagine? Can you imagine watching a video of your wife, your kid, your husband dying online? Every time you go on social media, there's going to be a video of someone you love being shot. How do you register that, in your mind? I can't. I can't comprehend that, right? But it's there, right? So there's all the conspiracies about, what happened. The guy pulling his little lapel, or he's, it was a gun. No, it was a gun that looked like a cell phone, or, the shot came from one of the cameras, and look at the guy jumping over the table. He grabbed something. Yeah, it's all out there. I've seen all. I mean, it's just you can't even avoid it, right? I mean, it's there for you to consume, and it's almost insane, to the point where it's insane that this is being done over and over again. Yeah, man, I don't see social media going in a direction right now that's any good. I really don't, I don't see the value. You just don't have the social aspect of social media anymore. I don't know. I mean, I find it pretty cool to be able to reach your friends across the world, to be able to put out, and put out pictures of your kids, this and that, whatever, and then share it with family and friends that are not nearby, and you can, communicate with them and, post your stuff. But it's all, half the time, it's all fake. It's people putting up fake stuff. I mean, it's like, your Facebook profile is nothing like your real life. So, there's that. But again, it's become a disease, and nothing worse than what has happened, recently with this event. A man died. A man was assassinated, in cold blood, in public, for his voice, for speaking out, and that should scare everybody, right? Do I believe? I mean, this rant was not here. I mean, I didn't come here today to give my opinion about everything, right? Because that's not what this is about. It's just my view of the insanity of what has basically taken a life of its own on social media. It's insane, and I really don't know. I don't know. It's making me take pause for a second and look at things and how I even interact on social media. And it's crazy. We know a lot of it is bots too, like if you're on TikTok, and you're following on TikTok, I mean, I don't know how many people are trying to get me involved in crypto. It's freaking insane. Or, you get all these messages from some really whacked out people, but and they can't be real. I don't even know what they're doing on there, what their agenda is, but they're trying to spam you and take your information or whatever it is. But between that and then some of the good that's happening out there, I'm not going to say there isn't, but there's some good, and you have to sift through all of this nonsense. And really, again, like I said, the unfortunate thing is that these videos of Charlie Kirk are all over the place. And my question again was, can this guy just, can he rest in peace? Can he just be now? He's, it's crazy. I mean, I think I mean, it's amazing that Turning Point USA has exploded, with chapters all over the United States, and schools, and high schools and colleges. I mean, that's great to see that, kids are looking at this as a battle cry to get involved with these types of discussions, and not be afraid to learn another point of view, and get out there and be able to talk and debate, peacefully. But again, I have to say that I really have to take this. It's I am speechless, because again, the insanity from some of these people is just unspeakable. And even you look at what's happening with businesses that have employees that have spoken out against Charlie Kirk, and made fun of his death. People getting fired left and right. I mean, look at what happened to Jimmy Kimmel. Love him or hate him. I mean, he tried to make a joke out of that, and it's you just don't do that. I don't care who it was. You don't joke about someone's death. At the end of the day, you're talking about, again, a father, a husband, extended family that now is going to miss this person. That's just not right. So there's a lot of backlash back and forth. But the one thing I do have to say, with everything that has gone down, I am really proud to see that people that really loved Charlie Kirk and followed him and were really on that side of the fence, there was no violence on their part, right? I mean, that community stood up and prayed, and, there was no cities burning. There was no retaliation. I'm sure there was a lot of anger and things like that, but, that's a really, really nice thing to see. I mean, that was, but I'm conflicted because, again, in my own thoughts, I don't know what really happened. I don't think we ever will know. But I think the guy just needs to rest in peace, man. That's why I said in the beginning of the show, I didn't know how to even come about talking on this topic today. And I wanted to, and it's been irking me. I know I did a TikTok video not long ago about this, about a week ago or so. So much has been going on that it's just been eating at me, that humanity is just, I'm so disappointed, man. I mean, just so disappointed in people. I'm so disappointed at where we have come. People are losing friends over stuff like this. It's just, and I have to laugh, because let's just think about it. There's people that you've grown up with that have been friends of yours for a lifetime. And then you say, hey, yeah, man, I like Charlie Kirk. I dug a lot of the things he was talking about, and I see where he's coming from. Boom, they delete you from Facebook. It's almost like, are you really that weak of a person that you can't have a conversation and just say, well, yeah, but I didn't agree because XYZ. No, they just right off the bat delete you, take you out, right? That's crazy, man. I mean, we saw this with Trump in the first election that he ran, where people were divided, and I hate it. I hate it. I hate to see the division. Family is first, man. No matter who's in office, right? I mean, you can love the one candidate over another, whatever. That's your prerogative, man, and it doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, do you really think that they like you or they know you? I don't think so. I mean, look, we live in this world right now where, especially here in the States, we're lucky that we can vote. we're lucky that we have free speech, and, the Constitution should be upheld, right? It should. But we have certain rights and freedoms, and, but nobody should die over their disagreements. I disagree with a lot of people, a lot of my friends. I have friends that are in every walk of life on both sides of the political spectrum. I respect all of them. I may not agree with you, right? But I would never wish, harm on anybody because of their beliefs or their thoughts. I would think, hey, you know what? I think it's time for you to sit down and have a debate and really, explain your position or something like that. But I wouldn't wish harm on that person. So it's really sad, guys. I'm beside myself because, again, just reading these comments, watching these videos, all the conspiracies, and a lot of them are built in for clicks, man. It's all people want. They just want people to click, and so they can get, whatever the hell it is that they're getting, and it's just disgusting. It just really is. And again, you have to really think about it. These kids are going to grow up with their video of their father being, assassinated for the rest of their lives. This video will never go away. It's out there. I mean, it's disgusting. I saw it one time the day it happened, and I couldn't bring myself to even look at that again. It's so sad, and I feel for his family. I feel for his kids, and that the guy was not out there spreading hate. I mean, this guy was there to, just debate. I mean, it's really, really all it is. And, he was attacked with a lot of hate. That's the thing, Are you watching his videos? Are you really, really out there watching the videos all the way through, listening, really, really listening to what he said? I mean, the guy just wanted peace, man. He just wanted love. He wanted people to follow Christ. Whether that's your thing or not, it doesn't mean the guy deserves to die. It doesn't mean that he deserves to die. And that's something that I just can't get past. And it's been irking me for weeks, ever since it happened. I just can't get past it. The hate that's out there for our fellow man. It's just, how do we move on from that? How do we really look at ourselves and say in the mirror, like, yeah, I'm for that, that person, this and that, whatever. Unless you're a freaking pedophile and you're harming children, right? I mean, that's a whole different story. We can get into that conversation, but if you're just debating political ideas or just, social ideas and things like that, that's not a death sentence. And the guy just wanted to speak out, man. I don't know. You tell me your thoughts, man. Send me an email, thebeardtospeakspodcast@gmail.com. Let me know your thoughts, man. I mean, I could just come on here right now, like I said, and I didn't plan this. I literally stood up and said, I need to speak on this, and I need to just let it all out, throw an episode out there, and really think about, where we are as a freaking as humans right now, because it's looking pretty bleak. And I try to bring some positivity with the show, right? I try to bring some awesome content out there so people can really have these, discussions without fear, man. And that's really the key of free speech, not being afraid to speak your mind. Whether you're right or wrong, you'll figure that out at some point, right? But always have the discussions. But if you're for, if you're for Charlie, God bless you. If you're against him, God bless you. I mean, but if you're one of those people out there putting out some content or making those comments that are nasty and whatever, I think right now I'm going to pray for you. And I would think that somewhere inside your soul, you would think twice before really saying anything that you will regret. Because what they say is once you put it out there on the internet, right, it's there forever. And you guys are putting some freaking nasty things out there about someone that did nothing to you, right? Just had an opinion. And I don't see this being the last. I hate to say that. I think there's a lot of insanity out there, and I think something's going to happen again, man. I pray that it does not, and I really hope it doesn't on either side. No one deserves it, and how sad, is it that we have to say either side, or this side or that side, when we should all be standing as one, right? As Americans here in the United States, or just as human beings across the world, right? And I know, this podcast gets out there all over the world. And the people that listen, I hope that you guys out there have the sense to look at your humanity and say, I'm better than that, right? I didn't agree with this. I didn't agree with that, but I'm not going to go online and say some nasty things or, put out vile comments about a man that, lost his life for just speaking up. I would think that we can do a lot better than that. I really do. Yeah, man. So other than that, guys, I mean, that was really what I wanted to do today. I just wanted to come on here and just say how disappointed I am in some of these videos and comments and things that are going on. I've been following a lot of it, listening to different podcasts or talking about some of these conspiracies and things like, because they're popping up all over the place. I know Candace Owens is out there trying to find the truth. God bless her. I hope she does. People are coming down on Candace also, and it's kind of crazy because here is someone that's again asking questions, whether they're a far reach or not, or you guys think it's crazy or not. If your friend was assassinated right there, and videos are all over the place, you would ask questions too. So I don't fault her for that at all, man. At least somebody's out there asking some questions, because again, what's happening with the FBI, what's happening with the investigation? Did this guy, and I'm not even going to use his name because he does not need any more attention, but this kid out of nowhere, do you think he did it? I don't know. It's a lot of it is just shaded in mystery, man, and it's amazing how something this high profile or anything like this, like Kennedy, right? It just turns into a mystery, just a mystery. And it's amazing how something that happens in broad daylight in front of, so many people can be a mystery. It's crazy because everybody sees something different, right? Everyone sees something else that someone else didn't see in the heat of the moment. So I don't know where to leave this, guys, but I'm always up for debate on this thing. I think at the end of the day, I want to see this man just rest in peace. I want his kids to know that their father wasn't a bad person, and that he left them a legacy, right? And I don't know. I just can't see how these kids are going to grow up with all this stuff all over the internet. It's kind of nasty. So I would tell you, think twice before you put stuff out there, whether you like the guy, you hate the guy. I mean, keep it to yourself, man. That's all I could say, right? Keep it to yourself. I can't see the beauty in humanity anymore. I mean, it's just kind of sick. And watching, like I said, watching the comments scroll up and the videos and everything like that is just mind-boggling to me that people are that evil, you know. But I don't know, guys. So anyway, I'll leave you guys with that. But hey, all right. Thanks again, everyone, for listening to the podcast. Again, like I said, we have hit a milestone this year where we are streaming in every country. We're streaming on all platforms. I want you to check us out on TikTok. Please follow us there and share our content. Please follow us on Instagram. Check out our Facebook. Go to YouTube. We got a lot of cool content on YouTube. Also, there is also, right, the email, thebeardspeakspodcast@gmail.com. Hit me up. I've been getting a lot of emails from people. Thank you. Hit me up if you want to be on the show. Again, I've said this and I've put out this message on TikTok. If you're going through, or you have a friend, or you are going through parental alienation and going through the corrupt family court system, please reach out to me. There's help out there. I can guide you in certain directions. Or if you want to tell your story, I'd be more than happy to interview you and have you, take this platform to be able to tell your story, because you're not alone out there. This stuff happens, and parental alienation is child abuse, and the kids are the ones that suffer, man. And we want to help the children. That's at the end of the day. That is all that matters, and I talk about that a lot. So please, reach out, thebeardspeakspodcast@gmail.com. And again, check us out on all streaming platforms. Share with your friends. All I can say, guys, is that I really appreciate you. I love you guys. God bless, and we'll see you on the next one.